With over 11 grams of plant protein per serving, these lemon poppy seed Power Balls are going to be your new favorite treat. They're zingy, perfectly sweet, and perfect for the beginning of the summer season. These Power Balls come together in 15 to 30 minutes using ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen. In addition, you're going to need only one appliance, the food processor fitted with the S-blade, and a couple other things you probably already have in the kitchen, such as a baking mat or parchment paper and a baking tray to help these Power Balls cool and set. Contrary to all of the other Power Balls we've made that use dark chocolate or milk chocolate on this channel, I'm bringing a lighter version today that uses vegan white chocolate. Believe it or not, you can get this on Amazon or at your local specialty food store. These are perfectly sweet, and that white chocolate elevates them just a little bit more, making them the perfect balance of whole food plant-based dough and just a little bit of a cheekier exterior. The ingredients are as follows. We're going to start with 10 mutual dates that have been softened and pitted. I keep mine in the refrigerator just because they last much longer in the fridge. You can even freeze these. Then we're going to be adding half a cup of unsweetened cashew butter. You can use any nut butter in this recipe, but I prefer cashew butter because it is very mild and has a very subtle flavor that complements the lemon really nicely. Next, we're going to be adding our wet ingredients, which will be the juice of 2 lemons in addition to 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. This is completely up to you, but I like to have a strong, powerful punch of lemon in my lemon poppy seed flavored things, whether it's a cookie or a loaf or a Power Ball. So I like to add more rather than less. We'll also be adding a tablespoon of chia seeds for really nice crunch and healthy omega-3s, in addition to 2 tablespoons of poppy seeds, hence the lemon poppy seed. I add these 3 sort of combination of ingredients that I've placed into a bowl to the stand mixer first because they help make the dates small in size, no larger than a pea. So add your cashew butter, your dates, your lemon juice, and your lemon zest, in addition to your poppy seeds, your chia seeds, and a pinch of salt in there as well, and combine in your food processor for about a minute until everything is looking like a homogeneous mixture, especially making sure that your dates are a small size. Our dry ingredients go in next, and this is completely up to you. You can change the combination of dry ingredients ever so slightly according to what you prefer and your own dietary needs, but I chose to use a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, a 1/2 cup of almond flour, and a 1/2 cup of my favorite vegan protein powder. I love the Birdman brand. I think it's a North American company. I first tried it when I lived in Mexico City. It's super clean, and they just use monk fruit sweetener, not erythritol, to sweeten, so I really love their stuff. I'll leave it linked in the description below so you can check out the company. So I used a 1/2 cup's worth of their protein powder in these lemon balls, and then we're going to combine everything once more in our food processor because this will help the dough come into a cohesive mass. Now, if you want to avoid almonds or coconut, it's super simple to just replace that portion of the recipe with oat flour. You can replace all of it or just a portion of it with oat flour instead. I like coconut flour though, and almond flour, because it's extra protein, and the coconut flour adds a little bit of decadence to these Power Balls. My mixture became a cohesive mass within a minute or 2. This totally depends on the flours you're going to use. If your dough seems too dry, add a tablespoon or 2 of plant milk or water to make sure that everything becomes really cohesive. It should be pretty sticky at this point, but not overly wet. I like to knead my dough by hand. I do this because I like when the poppy seeds are evenly mixed into my dough, and sometimes they're so small that the S-blade doesn't mix them as much as I would like. Place it on a plate and then carefully measure out 8 individual Power Balls. I like to eyeball this, but you can definitely weigh if you prefer. Once you've made those Power Balls more or less into equal portions, then you're going to form them into balls very simply in your hands. Once you're ready, place your Power Balls into the refrigerator to cool while we work on our topping. For our topping, I chose to keep it pretty simple for this recipe because this recipe doesn't need any flashy things. I think the lemon poppy seed flavor on its own really comes to life. So we're going to use 200 grams or about 3/4 cup of vegan white chocolate chips, in addition to a teaspoon of coconut oil, and we're going to microwave the mixture for 30-second intervals. Afterwards, we're going to agitate it with a spatula to make sure that it starts to melt really nicely, and we do this in 30-second increments so the chocolate does not burn. Interestingly enough, I find that white chocolate that's vegan melts much faster than dark chocolate or vegan milk chocolate. Take your lemon poppy seed power balls out of the refrigerator and then carefully, using a spoon or a fork, whatever you prefer, ladle them and toss them in the white chocolate that has been melted. Cover completely as best as you can. I actually tried to use slightly less chocolate in my chocolate topping when I melted it because I always have leftover and I didn't want to have too much leftover. So the last power balls were barely scraping through with the chocolate, but regardless, there was enough to make them look pretty much the same in terms of depth of covering. When they're set, you want to move kind of quickly because this vegan white chocolate sets much faster than the dark chocolate or the vegan milk chocolate, and you want to add some poppy seeds as a topping if you want. I like to add poppy seeds because it kind of signals to the lemon poppy seed flavor, but you can also use other things like coconuts or maybe some cashew bits that you've chopped up, or a mixture of all three that could be a really luxurious topping to these lemon poppy seed power balls. Add them to the refrigerator for about an hour or 30 minutes. Mine set in like 20 minutes, which was record timing. Often it takes a little bit longer. You can also quickly pop them into the freezer if you want to enjoy these really speedily. These lemon poppy seed power balls are an ode to spring. They're very light, they're very delicious. They are different from the dark chocolate, just chocolate-based power balls. If anything, a little bit more mature and elevated, I would say. Once again, you could find these at a bakery in your hometown, but it's way better to make them in your home because they're far cheaper and just as delicious. They're really soft and crunchy on the inside, and on the outside they have this beautiful, luxurious, but also simple vegan white chocolate drizzle with just an extra crunch and also visual appeal from those poppy seeds. The fact that they have 11 to 12 grams of protein that's totally plant-based, totally clean, and you don't even notice that there's protein powder in this mixture makes these the perfect snack. I really hope you try these. Let me know in the comments what you think of this recipe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss one, and I'll see you next time.